I feel like a star, but only strictly where I'm famous. I'm in this for the longest haul, like we'll see where it takes us. I'm throwing back these double shots like whiskey here is weightless. Cause this career I chose was even riskier than Vegas, yo.
Oh, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Colby Rebel Show. I am your host, Colby Rebel, where my goal tonight is to make that connection or answer that question. So get into that call line as soon as you can, 310-997-4966. 310-997-4966. So hello. I will be taking callers. A couple things to announce coming up. We are all intuitive. Each and every one of us has the ability to tap into our intuition. And I want to help you do that and help you trust it. So join me for Tap Into Your Intuition. And that's Tuesday, February 8th. It's from 6 to 7:30. And this is really a great workshop for anyone who just wants to learn how to trust their intuition, maybe how to connect to a bit more, how to know what they're receiving and put it together. So, and then of course we have Valentine's Day right around the corner. And it really would not be a Valentine's Day if we did not connect to your loved ones in spirit. So join me on Thursday, February 10th for Valentine's with Loved Ones. This is going to be just an evening of spirit messages where I'm going to connect to your loved ones in spirit, maybe bring through personality, messages, things they want to share with you. So everything is available on the website. You can just find the tickets there or on my Facebook, either one. So we are going to go ahead and get started. So many callers already. So let us do this. You all know the rules, but let's go over them together. Please make sure you are not listening live of the video because it has a delay. So when you hear your area code, please be sure to mute, hang up, have that phone right up to your ear for the clearest connection possible. And let's just go ahead and stow away anything other than yourself that is breathing, speaking, barking, or talking loudly. Okay. All righty. Here we go. Let's see what we've got. How about we do 302? Hey, 302. This is Colby. Hi, who is this?
This is Heather.
Hi, Heather. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Oh, good.
I want to see if I could connect with either my father or grandmother tonight.
Okay, wonderful. Got it. To be honest, I feel like I have the grandmother first. So if you don't mind me starting with her, if that's okay, just because I felt a very nurturing, very loving energy come in with your mom. Grandmother. See, I think she was like a mom to you. Does that make sense? You spent a lot of time with her? Okay. Because did you see, she kind of said mother. She didn't even say grandmother.
I kind of call her my mother.
Oh, got it.
My mother wouldn't want to hear that, but...
Yeah, earmuffs, Mom, earmuffs. But I feel like with your grandmother, like just a super savvy lady, very, very savvy. I think she knew how to kind of help you through all the like complications that you were going through in your life. Like, I think even through relationship or marriage or things like this as well. Does that make sense, Heather, that your grandmother was just there kind of giving you advice along the way? Also, I feel like you have kids yourself. Am I correct, Heather? Obviously they're older now, but I just get a feeling like your grandmother would give you so much advice for these kids as you were raising them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. She really shares with me, though. I just feel like nobody could keep her down. I just feel like she feels that she was very, very strong up until the latter years of her life. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like she took care of herself, was strong cookie. You know, it's interesting because I said a strong cookie. I wonder, is there a nickname at all for Cookie? That I'm just kind of curious as to why Cookie would come in, a strong cookie, why she would say that.
Mm-hmm. Well, She liked her cookies.
Okay. I don't want to make it too much of a stretch, but I'm just wondering if there's a nickname that she's giving me. And I'm not bringing it through quite right. But that's all right. You sit with it. I don't worry about it. If it makes sense, you put it in the Facebook group later in the post. Don't worry. I don't want. But I just feel like with her, she really gives me a real sense too of. I just feel like everybody would come to her when they had a problem. I just feel like she is the center, the matriarch, and all of that. You understand that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was the matriarch.
Yeah. Yes. And she really gives me a feeling as well of being around you a lot because I feel like you call upon her a lot in your house. You know what I mean?
Yes, I can smell her sometimes, and she comes to me in my dreams sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's been a while, so that's why I wanted to, see if I could reach out to her because it's been a while.
Well, she's around. I just feel like she's letting me know that, although you are going through some things, I just feel like she feels like you've got this, like you're okay and you've got this. And I feel like once that stress starts to kind of lower a bit, you're going to feel her even more. It's going to kind of come back to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then she shares with me, I will just say, I do feel like dad is with her on the other side, only because I feel like your dad needed a lot of taking care of. So she's like, oh, I'm taking care of her dad. So I just feel like
there were some complications there at the end with my dad, and he's kind of kept distance.
Okay. I just feel like to let you know that she's bringing him right in under her wing. You know what I mean? I just feel like for her, there's really where it's like when things need to get worked out, she's always the person to do it. So I think even on the other side, she was the person to work it out. She was the person to kind of get it all done.
Well, they got along pretty well.
Yeah. So I just know,
well.
but I just feel like she's the one who really wanted to come in. I'm just curious though, Heather, in your bedroom, do you happen to have like a floral pattern by chance, either a bedspread or curtains, a floral pattern?
I have a bedspread that I occasionally put on that has
like roses or flowers on it. Okay. Because she gives me a feeling of knowing that she's in that room with you. So it is feeling like, especially when you go to sleep at night, just call upon her and know that she's going to be there with you. And I just feel like it's like she has such a special bond with you and to know that bond's never, ever being broken. And just to know that she is doing very, very well and just really is remarkable of giving you that love from the other side. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we always joke that if a grandmother and granddaughter could have the same DNA, we'd be 100% match.
Yeah, exactly.
Like her.
It's just so interesting only because she just gives me a feeling of that she is around you, even though you said you haven't felt her in a while. It's like, I just think you're going through a lot. She makes me feel like there's a lot on your plate at the moment. And that's just, so you're kind of you're all over the place a little. And I think that's why it feels like she's not there, but she is. Okay. Also, one other thing, I know this is going to sound really crazy, but I think you're going to hear her walking in your house. So I don't know if you've experienced that yet, but I feel like you're going to hear footsteps that are her walking around.
Yeah, no, just her perfume.
Yep. Okay. So just listen. I want you to, when that happens, you leave a note for us because she makes me feel like she kind of walks around and paces a little bit. So she might have even paced a little bit in her elder years, but she makes me feel like she walks back and forth. So I know that she's around you. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Lots of love to you. Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, let us do another caller. How about we do 610? Hey, 610. This is Colby. Hi there. Who is this?
This is Brooke. I'm calling for Sean, my husband, to see if there's anyone for his dad. Any messages from his dad?
Oh, got it. Okay. So is Sean on the line with us? Or are you going to?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay, good. So you guys can validate together if that makes sense. Is that okay, Brooke?
Okay. As long as it's okay with you.
Is it okay with him? Is it okay with you, Sean?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. I just feel like you had like when I even just tuning in, I'm getting really, really excited. Like your dad, I think was like a really good, like a friend to you. Does that make sense around you and your relationship to your pop?
Yeah.
It does.
Like he gives me a feeling like, oh, there's my buddy. Oh, I've been meaning to talk to my buddy. Like, so I feel like you two had a lot of talking all the time, seeing each other a lot. Like, I just feel like he loved having you right by his side. Do you know what I mean there, Sean?
Yes, I do.
And your dad is he's giving me chills like crazy. He makes me feel like he was really good, like fixing working on cars or something. So does you work on cars, or does he work on cars? Do you understand that connection at all?
A little bit, yeah. He was a airplane mechanic in the Air Force.
There we go. Got it. Because he gives me a feeling of I think really taking his job very very proud about what he was and what he could do. Like, he took it very seriously, making sure. But he also gives me a sense that he loved to kind of kick back with you, especially when you're younger. I just feel like doing a lot of things with you, maybe out. I don't know if it's necessarily hunting, but outdoors. Would you understand that? Like, you and your dad being outdoors, just kind of kicking back.
Yeah, a little bit later in life.
Okay. And I also feel like for some reason, I feel like his passing would have been more quick. Would you understand that, Sean? Like a quicker passing with him?
Yes, I do.
Like, I don't think you got
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't get a chance to say goodbye, or you didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Do you understand that, honey?
Yes.
He really shares with me. I wonder though, would you understand if he had a heart attack or a heart issue connected around the passing at all?
Yes.
Because he just makes me feel like he's like, oh, the old ticker gave out. Like, he kind of makes a joke about it. Like, oh, the old ticker gave out. You know how it goes. Like, he's very, very
Yeah, pretty much.
practical. Well, yeah. And he's very practical. You understand? Like, he's not, I just think he's so down to earth. I mean, that's the feeling I get around him. Just super down to earth. You understand that with your dad?
I do, yes.
I just want to share, like, it's really the simple things. I just feel like for the most part, he enjoyed some, he said damn good food. So I think whoever's in the family knows how to do some cooking, because I feel like he just enjoyed some damn good cooking, sitting back, maybe having a beer, and just kind of talking. Like, he just loved to be connected and talking to you guys, and I feel like loves his grandbabies. His family's his number one thing. And Sean, I just feel like I just want you to know how much he loves you and how much he is okay. And he gives me a feeling. I don't know why he brings me to a phone call. I don't know if you missed a phone call or you were supposed to call him, or does that make sense? Anything around a phone call or a text message, and then you find out he passes.
Yeah, I can sort of understand that.
Okay, he just lets you know he just loves you, and I just feel like he is going to be around you like crazy. It's interesting. Like, it's almost like he's saying, "Hey, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to say goodbye, but I didn't like goodbyes anyway." Like, he just I think he's got a little bit of a strong exterior, where he could he's definitely warm-hearted and loving and kind, but I don't think he's going to be strong for his family. You understand that around your dad?
Yes, he was very stoic.
Yeah, and he just gives me that feeling of like, it just needed to be done on my terms, and not to take it personally, son. Just know how much I love you. Know how much I'm with you. I am just curious. Do you or him? Did you guys either smoke cigars by chance every once in a while? Do you understand that at all?
Not me, but I have other brothers that was one of the pictures for during his service was with him and one of my brothers smoking cigars.
Got it. He just gave me chills, letting me know, that he liked that. He just kind of felt like it felt important, that picture, and just to know, like, again, that service. I feel like he said you guys did too much. You went over the top. But he sure did love every minute of it. I definitely feel like, I think you spoke, or are you the oldest brother by chance? The oldest son by chance?
No, I'm not.
Do you understand the oldest son talking at the service?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like what he said really meant a lot to him. So I feel like he really enjoyed what he said, and to let him know. Okay. But I feel like each of you boys got up. Am I correct with that, Sean? Like, each of my each of my boys got up for me?
Yeah, all of them except me.
Okay. So with that though, I feel like you didn't because it was a little too emotional. Would that resonate with you, Sean?
Yeah, just talking at funerals just isn't my thing.
Yeah, but your dad just lets me know. I feel like you've already talked to your dad, and he says, "I already know how you feel, and I already know what you wanted to say, and I am right there with you, buddy." I don't know if he called you buddy, but he keeps calling you buddy now. He's like, I just feel like he puts his arms around you, and he just lets you know how much he cares about you and how much he cares about the family. So I feel like this is about you guys coming together, sticking together, and really knowing that he knows how loved he is, and he knows each of the boys. I feel like got something of his because I feel like he shows me his things getting passed out. So would you understand that, like his belt, wallet? I think he had a money clip maybe too. But does that a watch? Does that make sense? Those items being passed around?
A little bit. Some of the small things initially, yeah.
Okay. So just know that he lets us know how much he cares about you and how much he's with you. And I feel like just allow yourself to talk with him, to just kind of hear him. You're going to hear him. So just allow yourself and to trust that connection that he is connecting with you and coming through. Sound good?
Yep. It sounds good,
Okay.
Colby. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Much love to you, honey.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Okay, let us do another caller, everybody. Here we go. How about 720? Hey,
Hello.
720. Hey there. Who is this?
This is Janice.
Hi there, Janice. How are you tonight?
I'm okay, thank you.
What could I do for you tonight?
Well, I'd like to hear from my sister. She passed 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and I really am missing her today.
Okay. So are you
every day.
okay? You know, it's so recent. So are you okay if I continue and see if I can connect with her? You're okay with that?
Absolutely okay. Yes,
Okay.
that'd be great.
I feel like when I just tune in, I feel like she was having some health issues prior to her passing. Do you understand that, Janice?
I do.
Like, was she, I don't think she could move around a lot. She makes me feel like she couldn't move around a lot. And then I feel like there was just a lot of issues through her body and even in her breathing or her chest. Would you understand that connected to her?
Yes, I do.
Okay. But she makes me feel like when we go, I want to go back way before all the illness. I want to peel the years away and go back to when she's younger because she makes me feel like she had a ton of energy. She makes me feel like she was like the center of attention or made sure she was the center of attention, right? Does that make sense around her?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like I loved. Yes. Now, I think when she's younger, if I'm mistaken, you tell me, but she had a cute little figure when she's younger because she's showing me some cute little clothes when she's real young. Do you understand? Like some Daisy Dukes and stuff. And she really gives me, I think too, back then, she must have had really long, beautiful hair. Is that right? Because she makes me feel like people would notice her hair a lot. And she shares with me, you know, she is known for her smile. I feel like, again, this girl's got a beautiful, beautiful smile and charisma. Just would come into a room and it's like fairy dust, getting everybody up, you know?
Yeah.
I really feel like she used to love dancing, going to clubs or dancing. Does that resonate for you? Do you remember that about her?
I know a lot about her dancing. It was the last wonderful thing she did before she became ill.
Okay, because she just lets me know she loved, and you know, on the other side, she's dancing like nonstop. It's that ABBA song, right? She just lets me know that she's just dancing and free, and I just feel like with her, she shows me that you two. I feel like you two would spend a lot of time together. Did you play cards together or bingo together or something like this, Janice? Can I ask?
We spent a lot of time together the last few years.
Okay.
Yeah.
She makes me feel like she likes making decisions. So even though she's ill and dealing with things, she still likes to be the boss of everything. Do you understand that with her?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. I just know with her, I feel like you took care of her great deal. I mean, she felt very, very loved to me, right? She just felt very loved, but I do feel like you were there with her a lot, helped to take care of her. I really feel like she was expressing her final wishes to you a lot as well, like asking you, certain things. Does that make sense? Like I don't think she was afraid to talk
Yeah.
about it. Like she was very open about, look, this is what needs to get done. And I need you to do this. And I
Right.
want you to take this. I want you to have that. You understand all of that with her?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, what's interesting, did you take a picture of the two of you? Because I think there's a picture, obviously, of when you two are young, but I think you took a picture in the later years, maybe more recently prior to her passing. Would you understand that? There's another photo of you.
Right. Yeah, there is.
Okay. And she just makes me feel like, go ahead and get that picture framed so you can see me looking at you, telling you what to do every day. She's a force, isn't she? She just makes me feel like, I just feel like, although she's ill, she's super sharp. She's just the physical body doesn't let her do what she needs to do.
Yeah.
But she just shares with me a sense of humor and a sense of, letting you know that she feels just so good on the other side. She makes me feel like, it feels so good for her to move, and it feels so good for her to just kind of feel like she's free. Okay. And I just feel like
Right.
for you, did she tell you before she passed that I feel like she was going to send you butterflies? You have a mother on the other side as well, Janice? Do we
Yes,
have? Okay.
we do.
Okay, because she's with mom. She lets us know she's with mom. So together, these women are sending you some hummingbirds, and butterflies. So I think they love flowers, gardens. So as the spring approaches, I want you to
Okay.
start recognizing that around you. They're going to let you know that they're with you and around you. Okay.
Right. Okay.
All right. Well, lots of love. I know it's only been 2 weeks, honey. Just allow yourself the time and space. But I feel like
Mm.
you're always going to have that special bond with her. And I know that she loves you very, very much. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a good night.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Okay. Let us do another quick caller here. Here we go. Let's see. How about 573? Hi, 573. This is Colby. Who is this?
Hi, Colby. This is Samantha.
Hi, Samantha. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What can I do for you tonight?
I mean, there's actually a few different people that have passed that
Okay.
I would love to hear from. One is a family member who recently passed.
Okay. Is there anyone in particular, just for time's sake, that I could work on bringing through for you?
My aunt.
Okay, got it. Okay. The reason I asked is because I was feeling a male around you as well. So, but let's.
Gotcha. There is a male that I would like to hear from, but that would be my brother.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was feeling. It was more of that brother.
Yeah, and I would love to hear from him if he's coming through, then that's great.
He's kind of coming through first. So if you don't mind, maybe just a few words from him, and then I'll let the aunt come through if we have time. Okay. Like your brother really, I just feel like your brother, I think just what he is, he kind of has a really strong point of view about things. Like, I just feel like when, he was set on something, I feel like he was very strong about his beliefs. Like, I feel like he stood up for what he believed in, and he stood up for his family. He stood up for you guys growing up. Like, I just feel like he makes me feel like he was the one who was very protective of everyone. Does that make sense around him?
Yeah, absolutely.
And he just shares with me like, I don't know. It's not that he's a fighting guy, but I don't think he's afraid to get in a fight when he was younger if he needed to.
Yeah, very true.
And I feel like there may have been one or two bars in his lifetime, just because I feel like he loved his little local hangout with friends. I just feel like he was very, very popular among his friends,
Mhm.
especially when he was younger, you know? But
Mhm. Oh
I
yeah.
just feel like with him too, he really, I think just such a good family man. I just feel like he was a really
Mhm.
good family man, loved his family, loved his kids. And I just really get the sense with him is, he's there a lot for you. I think a lot of times when you're really, really struggling, he really says he stands up for you. He's there for you. He very much would give strength when people needed it. And I feel like with him though, was this a more quick passing? Would you understand that? Or I don't want to use the word tragic,
Yeah,
but
it was.
to me, there feels
It
like to
was.
be quite an accident or just something that feels quite a little traumatic around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like, I just feel like he just wants you to know that he's okay. Like not to think about, I feel like not to think about the end because I feel like the end just feels a bit like we could get kind of wrapped up in it. And he just lets us know, no,
Mhm.
not to worry about that. I'm okay. Right. And
Correct.
I'm having a good time from the other side. And then just kind of quickly with your aunt, I just feel like for her, again, up until this passing, she felt to be pretty strong to me. I just feel like she felt very, very, I think there's an illness with her. I feel like she's ill prior to her
Mhm.
passing, but short of that, like this is a lady that was in your life. This is a lady that would very, very much, we'd have long phone conversations with, checking in, seeing
Mhm.
how she's doing. And she just kind of loved that little check-in that we're doing, right? I feel like too,
Mhm. Mhm.
was that you visiting her house a lot? Like to me, it feels like somebody's coming in, making her tea or coffee, kind of spending some time with her in the house as she's getting older. Is that you doing that? Because she makes me feel like it's another woman doing that for her. I felt like that was you.
That would be my mom.
Oh, got it. Okay. Because she makes me feel
Mhm.
like she's there. And these two, it would be funny because your mom would go over and then time would get lost, right? Like, I,
Absolutely.
I just feel like, oh, I'm just going to go over for 10 minutes. And 2 hours later, she's like, oh, sorry.
Mhm.
And they
Yeah.
just would sit there and they would just sit there and talk away and gather. But what's also interesting was your aunt religious at all by chance? She just showed me a cross. So I'm just trying to figure out why she would show me a cross and specifically a cross necklace.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure
Okay.
on that.
Do you don't happen to have a cross necklace yourself that you wear or one that she would wear by chance?
I do not.
Okay.
Now, she may have had one that she wore, but I'm not positive on that.
Okay, got it. Okay, well maybe if you find out, let us know, okay? But
Okay.
she just really gives me a feeling of I felt like she was pretty weak at the end, but she just gives me a feeling again of having the use of her hands back. So I think there's something about her hands because I think she used to like to do things a lot, make things, create, and I feel like
Mhm.
towards the end her hands weren't
Mhm.
letting her do that. So she's just letting us know that it feels good to move her hands, feels good to move her body. And she's obviously with there's so many loved ones you've got that they're just to know that they are all together hanging out, right?
Yeah.
But just know that she's okay. She's definitely being taken care of. She's gotten the tour, she said. So just to let you know that she's doing good on the other side and to let everyone know she'll be stepping in to kind of just pop her head in, say hello, let you know that she's there. And again, I just feel like mostly she just wants to thank everyone for the care that she was given at the end. Cause I do feel like, people really went out of their way to make sure she was taken care of. And that meant the world to her. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So lots of love
Thank
to
you so much.
You're welcome. You have a gorgeous night and lots of love to you. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, let us do one quick one here. Super quick is what we could do. How about we got 724? Hey,
Hi, Colby.
hi there. Who is this?
This is Kylie.
Hi, Kylie. What can I do for you tonight, honey?
A mini reading, if you can, please.
Okay. Is there a specific question you have that I could tune into for you? I mean, I have an area
no,
already.
I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
I was going to do more psychic. Is that okay with you, Kylie?
Sure.
Okay,
sure.
good. I just kind of, because I really want to go into career for you, because I feel like careers, like it's like a big leap is happening. And I feel like I just want to encourage you to like believe in yourself, listen to yourself. Like I feel like the inspiration is coming in, and I feel like it's just about like kind of taking those next steps towards it. So, are you in the spiritual realm at all, Kylie? Are you doing any sort of healing, spiritual work, medical work, anything like that? Oh, good. Thank goodness. Because good. Because I was like, oh, to me, it's like, I keep hearing, yes, yes, yes. We're behind you. We're with you. You're on the right path. And it's like, just keep doing it, keep building, keep growing, but really mostly keep trusting that your guides are so much around you, working with you, helping you. It's almost too like, you've been learning a lot. Like to me, there's a lot, light bulbs, kind of epiphanies happening more recently. And you're starting to see more of these things coming forward. And I feel like that's just your team letting you know that now you're getting on track. Now it's like, this is where we are. So I just want to kind of just keep you on that and keep you encouraged and just keep following your path. And I feel like 1,000% this is something you're going to be doing full time. Okay.
Thank you. Great.
You're welcome. All right. Well, lots of love. We're cutting it a little short. Sorry, but I'm glad I at least got you in to kind of tune in to hear for you. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a good night.
You too. Thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, that is the end of this particular episode, but lots of love to you. I want you to stay tuned. I'm excited to see you next week. Again, visit the website, colbyrebel.com. You'll see the classes there. You can even book a private reading if you want. And lots of love, and know that your loved ones are always around you. They are with you. And it's just about quieting that mind so that we can feel the subtleties of their connection and communication. All right, everybody, have a gorgeous night.
Thank you for listening to the Colby Rebel Show. Be sure to follow Colby on social media at Psychic Rebel. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, please head on over to iTunes to leave a review to help Colby grow the tribe. Colby is an international psychic medium, teacher, best-selling author, and speaker. She is a master teacher of the Lisa Williams International School of Spiritual Development and is the owner of the Colby Rebel Spirit Center in Los Angeles. Visit colbyrebel.com.